Hello everybody, I am Sable Dragon Rook, you can call me Sable, and today we're going to be looking at the fastest way to farm the Lifeline trophy, which is for having Trico catch you with his tail 10 times. I see a lot of people think that the easiest way to get this is to keep repeating the scripted event where Trico catches you for the first time, you know, the bridge is breaking and you have to jump over to his tail. But based on reports from both my own community and just kind of in general, it seems like that's pretty inconsistent because the game tends to treat that catch as mandatory. So it's not Trico catching you on accident, which doesn't necessarily count for the trophy. So I'm going to show you a couple places, one of which is, you know, basically right there anyway, that you can get Lifeline so that basically no matter where you are in the game, there's somewhere fairly close where you could farm this trophy. So let's get started. Okay, so here's Lifeline location number 1, in the sense that I think it's the best. Trico has just flown over from... He, of course, won't let me show you. The White Tower is behind him. With the 2 eyes where Trico was unwilling to jump across until you pushed one off and then you were stuck because the armors were trying to catch you. He flew over here, and now he's got these 2 gargoyles next to his head. This is after he has fallen down once. You're going to be kind of in between his wings. Just hold X until you get kind of near the bottom of his tail, and then you can let go of X and hit forward. You'll grab his tail again, and then just keep climbing up him. It's helpful to get kind of up between his wings to make sure that you do fall far enough for it to count. But then, you know, like I said, let go of X. Once you're down here, push forward, and 10 times later, you'll have your trophy. I'll still show you some more spots, just in case this happens to not be one that you're very close to. There are some earlier in the game as well, and we'll get to those in just a second. Alright, so here is another location for Lifeline. It's a little bit less favorable than the one that I just showed, but it is a lot earlier in the game. This is, we call this demo area. It's where the first demo for Last Guardian came out. Trico catches you for the first time right over there. I'm about to knock this eyeball down, and then Trico will catch me on his tail. We have just passed the puzzle with the 2 eyes kind of side by side that we had to break with the helmet. So let's send this on down. The problem, the reason that I don't especially like this spot, is because when Trico catches you with his tail here, it doesn't always count. In fact, it rarely counts, because this is considered, like, mandatory in order to progress. So this catch, where Trico misses you and then grabs you with his tail, doesn't count. You can't farm this. Here we go. So, you can still farm this area, though. Alright, once we get back here, back in control of the boy, this is the part that you can farm. I don't like it as much because Trico is just really moving a lot, and you're on a time limit. But the same principle applies. Go up to Trico's wings, hold until you let go. That's why I don't like it. Because Trico's moving a ton, and his tail's not always going to be in the right spot. And, obviously, if that happens, you have to go back and do all of this again. But if you're early in the game, you don't want to run to the location I just showed after the White Tower. You might as well, you know, see if you can get it working here. It's up to you. There's also another location just a smidge further in the game over by the Drawbridge that I would personally recommend a little bit more than this if you're willing to go that distance. I'll show you that in just a second. Alright, next up in our Lifeline trophy guide. This is... Trico's about to break this entire thing. We're past the demo area, which I just showed you. And this is coming up one of these locations where, you know, if you happen to be here, it's an alright place to try to do this. One of them is going to be better than the other. For now, we'll get through this cutscene. Try not to fall off a Trico. He'll do his best to knock you off for sure. Great. So once Trico's here, he is ready actually to assist you with his tail over here. So you can grab it like this if you would like to farm Lifeline that way. Don't jump directly toward the wall, like straight from his back, because you'll just actually make it. It's close enough that if you just jump like directly back here, you'll make it. So go kind of close to his head. Wait for him to calm down here. And then jump a little bit on a diagonal and start pushing kind of backwards. I'm doing back right at the moment. And you will reach his tail. Just do that a couple times, obviously, and you will have Lifeline. In just a second, if for some reason you can't get this part to work, we're going to be over there with Trico hanging from the drawbridge. And, you know, it'll be a similar principle. So if this one doesn't seem to be working for you, I'll show you how that works in just a second. Okay, here we are at the final location that I'm going to show you for Lifeline. This is at the drawbridge, just a little bit above where you just were. You opened 2 doors to get here. If you happen to know drawbridge skip, if you're a speedrunner, don't do it. Otherwise this won't work. You just got to go straight across and actually trigger this cutscene. So Trico's going to whip around. He's going to come try to save you, which is going to place him... Hey, Trico. Hey, buddy. Did you forget about me? It's going to place him on the drawbridge underneath you. And you can actually, just as I've described before, hold X there in order to continue to fall past his body and grab his tail like that. Otherwise, you know, just grab wherever it is that you happen to grab, which is usually kind of the middle of his back / shoulders. For this one, because he's, again, kind of squirming around, stick a little bit lower onto his back, not right on his butt, or the save isn't going to count. You need the slow motion thing. But kind of midway on his back, hold X, and there you go. Just keep doing this. You're going to want to start pushing forward a little bit higher than you would normally want to fall in these situations, because again, he's kind of flinging his tail all over the place. And if you happen to die, really no big deal. You're just going to be here again. It's not too hard to get back to doing this once again. And soon enough, you should have Lifeline. Again, I prefer the other place after White Tower to this because Trico's moving a lot less. But unlike the place that we were earlier, demo area, even though Trico's moving a lot, he's not on a time limit. He's not going to eventually fall. So you can take your time here, and I hope that you get Lifeline pretty quickly. If you need help with any of the other trophies, I have a big playlist of a bunch of other guides. Everything from, you know, the speedrun trophy to some of the more basic ones like balancing barrels. Otherwise, let me know if you have questions. Feel free to leave a comment. I hope this was helpful. And good luck getting the rest of your trophies.